On Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on Pope Francis, head of the Sovereign of the Vatican City State, for a 30-minute meeting. The Prime Minister was in Italy to attend the G20 summit. He has become the fifth Indian Prime Minister to have visited the head of Roman Catholics, the largest religious denomination in the world and the third largest in India. According to Census 2011, Christians form 2.3% of the Indian population. Modi's visit comes at a time when Christians in many parts of the country have been complaining of harassment and attacks on the community and its institutions. What is the significance of this visit and what the BJP sees in Modi's meeting with Pope Francis? We explain.
The meeting was, much beyond than expected for the officials, because the people here was expecting other issues to come up, but the government version says that there was no talk about the religious freedom or the alleged attack on Christian community and the institutions in the country. The government say, the official version say there was no such discussion. So we are waiting for some other information, whether something else has come up in the meeting. So we would know maybe later in the week. BJP, especially Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is very conscious of his image outside India. So the reports of these attacks against the Christian community or the minority, which have been in kind of damaging or denting his image outside India. In the last meeting, when Prime Minister Modi held a series of meetings with BJP senior leaders and Morcha leaders, what he told them specifically is that we have to create an image that the BJP stands for all. Sabka Saath hai Sabka Vikas. That should be the motto that BJP is spreading or holding high. That is the kind of message we have to give it to the to outside world. He also asked them to make use of the diaspora across the globe to spread this kind of a message. So this PM's meeting and the body language, we have seen a very warm and cordial body language with the Pope. Pope, as we know, he's the head of the international head of the largest religious community in the world. So that would definitely send a good message and positive signals for Prime Minister's image. And it would definitely be soothing for many people across the world, who have been raising, alarming bells or, signs of caution against the BJP-led government in India. All these states, whether if you're talking about Northeast, if you're talking about Goa and also in Kerala, the Congress disintegration is giving new hopes for the BJP to emerge as the alternate or the biggest force in states other than Kerala. We will have to see what is coming up early next year, which is Goan elections, in assembly elections in Goa and also in Manipur. In Goa, BJP had proved that, what BJP leaders have been saying, the Goan formula, the kind of experiment they have done in Goa and also in the northeastern states, it has proved that a certain section of, in a large majority section of the Hindus and a section of the Christian vote in the state where the community has a considerable or significant population would always form a formidable support base for the BJP. So in Goa, what they have proved that, although we know that in the last elections, in Goa, BJP did not get the majority. The Congress was the single largest party, and the BJP could form the government with the support of some regional parties and smaller regional parties, and also a breakaway group from the Congress. But before that, even Manohar Parrikar's time, what Manohar Parrikar had successfully done was they, gaining the confidence of the Christian community, which is around 25+% of the total population in Goa. So a section of Hindus plus a section of Christians, usually in this kind of state, apart from Goa, it is the case with northeastern state also. So having said that, we must also look into the Manipur elections, which is also coming up along with the Goa and other 4 state elections in early to 2022. In Manipur, the percent of Christian community is 40 plus. So that also makes a significant part of the electorate. And the community leadership, the church leadership in Manipur is also very influential and powerful. So BJP would definitely like to keep the community and more than the community, the leadership with them, as they are gearing up for these crucial elections early next year. And another state BJP is keen on is Kerala, where the party has not been, despite all their effort, despite their intense effort to form smaller groups and form new coalitions with this smaller social organization, nothing has worked. Even in the last election 2000, whatever they had, one seat they had got in 2016 election, which also they lost in 2021. So the BJP is very desperate to gain ground in Kerala. So this kind of visit, the visit and the invite to Pope, which was a demand from the church since Mr. Narendra Modi came into power, this would definitely kind of a fresh fillip or boost to this kind of effort from the BJP's political side. Apart from this disenchantment with the Congress thing, the community has a issue that in the Congress-led UDF, IUML, the Indian Union Muslim League, a party which has a support base of the Muslims, especially in the northern part of the state, is increasingly influential, and their number in the UDF, when it comes to UDF tally together, the number is going up. So, the Christians feel that, the Congress is actually getting under the influence of the Muslims. And there were other social issues also. The community's differences between these two, with the Muslims. One is the economic reason, because earlier the Christians used to dominate the financial, the market, and the health sector, the education sector. But increasingly, because thanks to the IUML effort, because the mainstream, it has come to the mainstream. So the effort, the community is also growing in terms of financially and in terms of education. The growing influence of the Muslim community in the state, which is actually giving a kind of insecurity to the Christians in the state, who had been kind of dominating the state's, social and economic and even political decisions. So that is one thing. And the church leadership had accused the Muslims, in a way, the words like narcotic jihad, the words like love jihad, which has become controversial, and they have been these kind of controversial terms they have been using against the Muslim community. This had created a lot of political and social controversy, and in kind of community-wise controversy in the state. What the church leadership is accusing the Muslim community, or the fundamental factions or fundamental groups of the Muslims, that they have been wooing the Christian girls and converting them into Islam, which is in a way kind of there is not much foundation for this. The church leadership itself could not come out with a lot of evidence on this kind of allegations, but it has they are trying to capture the imagination of the community with that. This is there. And there is another issue in Kerala. The minority scholarships had been distributed 80-20, which is 80% should go to, was going to the Muslim students and 20 to the Christians. That is mainly because the Muslims were facing more, because this scholarship is for economically backward people. So there were more Muslims who were economically backward than the Christians. That is why the decision was like that. But the church leadership insisted that it should be on the population basis, so which recently the High Court had ordered for that, and the state government had taken a decision accordingly. So these were the issues for on which the BJP also could stand with the Christians and the church leadership and try to kind of woo in. But the election results which we have seen in the last 2021 April 6 election did not prove that, did not indicate that this has kind of worked among the people. All this have been kind of orchestrated or organized by the church leadership. The community so far, like I mentioned earlier, the community support has kind of shifted from one party to the BJP, whether it is from the Congress or from the left to the BJP. I don't think it has happened so far. Now there are many voices in the church. It's basically from the layman group, the ordinary people group, like NGOs and the two magazines in Kerala. There is a weekly called Satyadipam, which is a church publication. They put out an editorial warning the church leadership against their efforts to what they call is like softening up to the RSS or the BJP. Here in Indian Currents, another church publication, it also wrote and come out against this kind of effort from the church leadership. So the Indian Current and the church leaders here in the northern India says that the Kerala church leadership is being very influential, and they are not very much aware, or they may not very much conscious of the kind of harassment and the attack which are happening against the community and at its institutions in the BJP ruled state in the northern India. So they say that when you are trying to cozy up to the BJP leadership, you have to take up this kind of issues which are faced by the community and their institutions in the northern part of India and in the state, especially in the state where the BJP is a dominant political force.